Hello everyone, welcome to this last session of the series Zendala Fever, and today we will be working on this string, which is our last string. So let us get started right away, and I'll quickly draw the string in front of you. So the string is basically, there's a flower in the center, so mark the center of your tile using the markers. Then there are two circles, right? One circle and an aura around it. So roughly I'm just going to add a circle around my center, right, like this, and then you can see this flower. So give a nice curve and then come back straight. So I have 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? Again give a nice curve, come back straight. Again give a nice curve, come back straight. Again give a nice curve, come back straight. So I'm crossing the flowers, the petals are crossing each other, and then the last one. So the flower is in place. The next step is these small little semicircles. So there is one between each flower, right? So first we'll add another aura, a thin aura, right? And then we'll add a semicircle in between each of these petals. 3 4 5 and 6, right? The next step is 1 and 2. These are kind of sharp edges, sharp edged. So first let us draw something for reference. So you can see 1 2 3 lines here, right? So I'm going to first draw this line, this circle, the second last, right? This is for reference. Then there is an outer and there is an inner, right? So this arch is going till this. That's why I have drawn this. So it's coming down like this, and then the second one is going till the end, right? So the second circle is here, almost touching the edge of the tile. Right? Again I'm going to do the same. Take one like this, the other one going like this, one like this, the other one going like this, one like this, the other one going like this. And then the last step, one aura here, and our string is ready. So I showed you, first draw the flower crossing each other, the petals are crossing each other. Draw a circle for reference, aura the circle, then in between two petals draw these semicircles, then draw this circle to limit this arc, right? Then taking the reference of this circle, draw first arc, second arc between all the semicircles, and then the final circle. So let's get started and draw today's style. So I'm first going to ink my beautiful flower. So as I mentioned in my first session also, these strings are not my creation. I found them really interesting. They were all there on Pinterest. I liked them, so I took it down. What we are doing with the string is our own creation. So there are so many ways you can create so many tiles with the same string. This is just a suggestion, and I really enjoyed tangling with you all. I saw so many of you post your tiles. I really enjoy, feel proud watching them I have a Facebook group called Creative Zen Work at SanyuktasZentangle, right? You can always post the tiles that you draw following me or getting inspired from my videos on that Facebook group. I would love to see them, right? So let us now get started. I'm going to add a line in between and add auras like these, right? Again, add a line in between and add auras like these, just like leaves. Right, so take your time and nicely, delicately draw the lines. Don't haste up. Take one stroke at a time. Enjoy the stroke. Enjoy the journey, the process, how it culminates into your finished tile. Right, and the last one. Process is all that matters in Zentangle. The tangles have been designed in such a way they always look nice. Yeah. So no matter what tangles you are using, how you are using them, they will look nice. So enjoy the process. The end result is always good, be assured. Yeah. Even if it is just inking, take your time. Enjoy the process of your tile going black from white. See how it adds that drama to your tile. Make sure you don't leave any spaces in between. Yeah. Now we are left with these spaces. So again, up to us, what do we want to do? I'm just going to aura the space first, and then we shall see what pattern do you want to fit in. So auraing is a very integral part of Zentangle journey. Lot of tangles involve aura. They are completely aura based or they are partially aura based. It's a very good tangle enhancing technique. Yeah. So once you have added the aura, then I'm going to go with a tangle called Bunzo. Right. I think we used it in our first or second tile. I'm not sure. But I like the space here and I feel like using this tangle Bunzo. So Bunzo is nothing but a series of consecutive C shapes. You can arrange it in any fashion and they are inked in alternate pairs with a highlight or without a highlight. Simple tangle, again a drama tangle because of the inking involved. Yeah, so I'll do that. Again, depending on the spaces available, I feel this tangle will look nice. That's why I'm adding it. You can choose a tangle of your choice. Feel free. No foundation here. We are just relaxing and enjoying ourselves through tangling. So as I mentioned earlier also, if you just master the original tangles, which are themselves about more than 150, 160 tangles, they are more than enough, right, for you to practice Zentangle method. Yeah. More than sufficient. There's so many tangleations possible. So I personally advise everybody to first master the original tangles. They have a certain property to them, right? So they have been designed and broken down in such a fashion that they are very easy to draw, and they have that nice meditative and therapeutic value to them. They are very relaxing to draw, yeah, and anybody can draw them. But yes, there are a whole lot of other tangles floating around, not necessarily tangles, I would call them patterns. There is a slight difference. Not all patterns are tangles, yeah. If you have still not had a look on my basic workshop on Udemy, you might want to have a glimpse. Those of you who are new to Zentangle method, it is a great course to take. It will cover everything that you as a beginner would like to know about Zentangle. Yeah. So I'll do the same for the next two. So I'm done with that exercise of adding banzo. You can see the drama that it adds to your tile. Moving on to the next shape. Looks like a perfect ladybug shape. Right. So I will now first start with the outermost aura. I'm going to add a tangle called Noom Ripas. Right, so I have started adding these S shapes like this. I'll just zoom in a little. Yeah, S, again one more, right, again. I forgot to mention the name of tangles in my last session. I will do that in this session. I often do forget. I keep repeating the names, but still I was requested to mention the names. Right, so I am drawing a series of S's. One of the basic strokes of Zentangle method, the S stroke, and then I am going to connect these using a reverse S like this. Yeah, you can see. So this is the tangle Noom Ripas. Again, I have done it in my earlier sessions on my channel. You can learn how to draw the basic tangle, or you can see the step outs anywhere. There are a whole lot of videos available, including mine. Right, so just draw reverses and connect this with a cone. Yeah, so I'm going to quickly do this exercise. So once you are done with adding those reverse, then connect these S's like this from here to 1/3 top part of the S. Yeah, again the top portion of the S to be connected. Yeah, and then the same exercise on the other side. Other side is simple, you already have the reference of the first side, so the lines have to just join in there only. Tangle Noom Repus. So don't try to find the connection between the name of the tangles and their look, because there is generally no connection. Yeah. So now rest of the spaces I will just ink, right? So take your time and just ink the rest of the space left like this. Yeah. So I have done the first layer, in fact the last layer with the tangle loom, right? Inked the sections, and now I'm going to ink these two shapes. So again, whole lot of tangles that you can fill in here. I will probably go with paradox. Spaces are small, so take it easy and slowly. Choose tangles of your choice, whatever you feel like at that point of time. Right? So I'm going to take paradox, small spaces, so take it easy. Take a small angle as you end the line. Again, I have done a whole series on paradox, so you might want to watch, or you can watch me carefully drawing it here. I'm going pretty slow. It's pure line work. Yeah, same exercise for all. Take your time. Feel free to rotate the tile if your hand is not comfortable drawing all the lines in all directions, keeping the tiles constant. So please rotate your tile. That's perfectly fine, in fact better. It will strain your hand less. Yeah, so I'll do the same for all of these sharp shapes. Yeah, so done with paradox in all these sharp sections. Now you can see there is a section here also, triangular section. So keeping it simple, just add a layer of aura. I think we have used this fragment earlier also. So I'm just going by the shapes that is there. Yeah, and then you can either insert an orb, or you can insert a printum, or you can add any other thing. I've just inserted an orb. Yeah, and then this space just add a small printum, add 2 auras, and add some petal shapes. That's the simplest way. This is a nice dome shape. Right, something like the tangled scallop. Fill in the small little intersectices between the petals. Again a nice printum, 2 auras, and the petal shape. Yeah. So done with adding that tangle, right? So now we are left with this section. So it is entirely up to us what do we want to do. So again, you can either individually add some pattern, or you can add something like brace or knight's bridge or something like that, right? So I'm just going to add a grid like this, and we'll see if we want to ink it or we want to keep it like that. Yeah, this is the grid for jongle, or you can call it the grid for brace. Yeah, one grid, many tangles that you can fit in. So I'm just drawing the grid first, and then we shall see what kind of tangle do we want to add. Make sure the lines are parallel to each other. Yeah, so drawn the grid. Now generally brace or jongle, there is a lot of inking involved. Yeah, so either you can ink it, or you can just add lines, or you can add orbs, whichever way you want to go about it. Yeah, let's see if lines work. Something like this. Yeah, if you wish, you can always ink these sections, right? If you think they are not clear enough, they can be inked. Since we have paradox also, which is line based, so you might want to ink it. That's okay. Yeah, so I'll just add these lines and get back. So what I did here is added those lines and then added some bronze chairs in the empty spaces, right? So you can see here basically an orb, and then filled it in. So the orbs become bolder, they become more visible, just like bronze chairs. Yeah. So the jongle becomes totally different here, with stripes and orbs. So again a tangulation, an extension of the original tangle created by combining it with different tangles. Yeah, so I am going to do this for all. Add those bronze chairs, The only difference between this and triple, I am filling it in, right? So leaving a small gap inside and filling it in. Whereas in triple, generally this exercise is not done. It's just a simple orb. Yeah. So I am done with that exercise, right? So let us now move on to shading our tile. Add some thick graphite here inside, right? So I want the inside section to recede. We will highlight the center and let the edges recede. So I am adding some thick graphite at the edges. You can also re-emphasize that with your gray watercolor pencil or gray brush pen, right? As I generally do. I have done it in many of my previous sessions, right? Again, one outside. Right? As far as noom is concerned, I will just add a line in the center and spread it on one side. Since the size of the noom here is not too big. Yeah. This section I'm just going to add little at the three sides. The triangle. Small section, add very little. Right? And then we come to this. Not much to add here, so it's better to highlight your paradox instead. Yeah, so automatically the other things start to show. So I'm just adding on one side of paradox so that it is visible clearly. Adding some thick graphite, pressing the pencil hard. Yeah. So let us blend this much first and then we'll see what else we want to do. I'm just going to pull the chalk from the edges towards the center. You can see here I'm not getting into shading the flower separately or shading the bunzo separately. I'm just shading that section as a whole, also called as the pillow effect, wherein I'm darkening the edges and trying to highlight the center. Yeah. So this much is enough. If you're not satisfied with the darkness, you can, as I mentioned, always use your brush pen or graphite, a darker graphite pencil or the gray watercolor pencil. Yeah, so I think this is fine. Then moving on to the outside, just blend the graphite. Slowly, not spreading it too much. Just trying to highlight the outer aura, right? Then just blend on one side of the zoom. So I'm just taking it to one side. Yeah, and then finally the paradox, just one side, a little bit on these triangles. Just a soft touch, paradox on one side. Don't blend too much. You want to leave a section white on your paradox. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the blending is done. Now let us pick up our chalk. Make sure it is sharp. I'm just going to sharpen it a little. Yeah. And just highlight the center with your chalk. Yeah. A little touch on the paradox where you have not added graphite. The inside section. Yeah. So white chalk will show only when you have not added gray everywhere, so otherwise it will give a different shade. So make sure when you blend, you don't blend too much so that both are visible. You can always add to one side of your jongle. Lighten it a little. Yeah, and if you want little on the other side of Noom, spaces are small, so it's optional. If you have spaces, highlight the other side of Noom. Yeah, just a little softening, and we are done. If you want, you can use another blending stub and just soften the chalk. Yeah, we are done, right? So that's our tile for today. I have a brush pen handy, gray brush pen here. So I'm just going to touch it inside, add a little more darkness. Again, it is optional. You may not do it. Yeah, that's about it, right? So let us close our series here. This was the string and this is the tile for today, right? I'm going to close my tile here now. So put in your chop, sign and date it. 15th 22, right? So the next series coming up, I have already posted a teaser, will be lacy Zentangles, right? We will try to combine laces and Zentangle and give a lacy to look to our Zentangles. Yeah, kind of a tongue twister. So do catch me up with the new series, right? And hope you enjoyed this series. Do post your comments, suggestions, feedback. They are valuable. Thanks for being there. Thanks for tangling with me, right? Bye-bye. And sorry once again, I forgot to mention the name of the tangles. I keep doing that. So this tangle is Banzo, right? This tangle. This is not a tangle, this is just a flower, right? Banzo is a Zentangle original. This is again paradox, a Zentangle original, these two, right? This is a tangle called jongle. It is again a Zentangle original, and this outer tangle is called Noom Ripus. This is again a Zentangle original. Right, so these are basically the tangles that we used in today's session. Bye bye, see you.